Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
By Trump's logic on death penalty for drug dealers, Big Pharma should be first. By Jack Burns, March 16, 2018. On Thursday, someone with ties to the Trump administration leaked information which indicates the president plans to execute drug dealers in an attempt to curb the national overdose death crisis. But absent from the president's yet unannounced policy is any accountability directed toward the billion-dollar pharmaceutical painkiller industry largely responsible for the nearly 60,000 yearly overdose deaths which have surpassed 200,000 since 1999. If it's true the president plans to apply the death penalty for street-level heroin dealers, the same punitive measure, logically, should be applied to the pharma cartel as well. To clarify, the Free Thought Project is not advocating for the death penalty for anyone. Government violence has not and never will be able to stop the sale and use of substances deemed illegal by the state. However, by this logic, the producers of pharmaceutical opioids are culpable under this alleged penalty. Rest assured, however, that they will undoubtedly be excluded from it due to their elite status and influence in the government. To illustrate the hypocrisy of such a move, consider the following. Below are just a few of the most notorious drug dealers who, by the president's logic, should be included in the hit list. First and foremost, the maker of OxyContin should be included in the list of dealers who should receive the death penalty, according to Trump. Purdue Pharma has made billions off addicting the American people to its deadly opioid. According to Trump's plan, Purdue CEO, Dr. Craig Landau, and former CEO Mark Timney should be the first ones for the electric chair. By Trump's logic, the Sackler family should not be exempted either from lethal injection. Even though they're not CEOs of the company, the Sackler family has been benefiting from Purdue's profits for decades, much like a Mexican drug cartel profits from cocaine exports. Purdue is a privately held company by the Sackler family. Currently, there are at least 8 unnamed Sackler family members who are financially benefiting from the estimated $35 billion OxyContin has generated while addicting and killing patients. That money, long considered blood money by critics, is still being used to proliferate the addiction and subsequent overdose death crisis currently ravaging the nation. The street-level heroin dealer can hardly compete with the death toll the Sackler family and its OxyContin has amassed. Inzies Pharmaceuticals, based in Arizona and maker of the deadly opiate fentanyl and Subzies, should be next on Trump's hit list. If Trump wants to kill drug dealers, former CEO Michael Babbage and current Vice President Alec Berlakoff should be targeted by him for the electric chair. Fentanyl, an opioid which has been proven to be as deadly as OxyContin and equally responsible for fueling the overdose death epidemic in the US, was only supposed to be used in the most severe cases of pain management. But Inzies was caught marketing its deadly drugs to people who simply didn't need it, all to fatten the bottom line profits for the company. Babbage has been charged and is awaiting trial on numerous corruption charges, but under the new guidelines the president supposedly will unveil on Monday, these guys need the death penalty. Trump calling for the death penalty for drug users should come as no surprise. As TFTP reported last year, Trump reportedly had a very friendly conversation with Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte, who has repeatedly bragged about his ongoing campaign of summarily executing people who use and sell drugs in the Philippines. Following that conversation, Trump invited Duterte to the Oval Office. Apparently, the president is now acting on the advice he received during this alleged meeting. Sadly, the president's plan to apply the death penalty to heroin dealers further perpetuates the failed war on drugs, and it will do nothing to stop opiate overdose deaths. However, it will likely solidify the pharmaceutical industry's place as the #1 drug dealers on the planet. Heroin addiction is usually attributed to a patient's inability to access their prescription opiates. Few people start with heroin. Addiction to heroin grows out of a person's desire for pain medicines and pharmaceutical drugs. If opioids weren't marketed like candy for the millions of people who do not need them, they would likely not turn to heroin. According to the federal government's own statistics, drugabuse.gov, 86% of heroin users reported their addiction first started with opioids. Any serious attempt to stop the overdose death crisis now ravaging the country must start with a scientifically proven approach, which is ending the drug war, the exact opposite of what Trump proposes.
County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too, because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.